Hello and welcome to another episode of Surviving History Today. Today we'll be surviving science and culture and politics in ancient Greece.
Yes, so Greece was made out of several city-states. For example, Athens and Sparta. So each city-state ruled themselves. And they were kind of comparable to the Dutch provinces, except they had a little more power.
Politics played a central role in the lives of Greek citizens. In the heart of every city-state, they would build Nix buildings, in which citizens could discuss current events, science, culture, gossip about how annoying their neighbor Craig is.
Damn it, Greg.
These citizens had special powers to protect democracy, meaning they were able to ban people who were a threat to democracy. For example, people who gained too much power or were just very, very disrupting. I'm working on it, Craig.
So there were four main ways to govern a state. The first one is a monarchy, in which a king or a queen ruled. Secondly, an aristocracy, in which the state was ruled by wise men. Thirdly, there were democracies, in which the people actually ruled the state. Demos meaning people, and krasi meaning the ability to rule. And finally, there were tyrannies, in which there was just one man who ruled the entire state.
Athens, for example, was a democracy, but not everyone was able to vote. It was only men who were rich enough to buy army clothing, so uniforms and armor, and whose parents had lived in Athens as well, who were able to vote.
So, some philosophers did not actually agree with this democracy, such as Socrates and Plato. They believed that the people were too stupid and did not have the intelligence to even make good decisions for the polis and the state.
In Sparta, it's very interesting because they didn't really focus on politics.
Huh.
All of their focus was on the army, meaning that men, women, and children would all enter into the army in their lives. This was because they had slaves, helots, but the slave population was actually bigger than the Spartan population, meaning they were very afraid of an uprising. To stop this uprising from happening, they expanded their army.
So speaking of slavery, slavery was a very common thing in the entire country of Greece. So even a third of the whole entire population was actually a slave. And they worked very hard, which is why they were such a big part of the whole economy. And the economy of Greece was also not just good because of all the slaves, but also because of all the trade they did. They traded a lot of their products with countries around the Mediterranean Sea and even the Black Sea.
Even though Greece was politically divided, they shared a similar culture, meaning that most of Greece believed in gods who would cause natural phenomenon. We know about these gods through myths, which are stories about the gods, but also from legends, stories about heroes, and sagas, stories about important and great and exciting events. Though there were some people who didn't just look at it from the gods' perspective. They wanted to examine things in a scientific method, which was interesting and new.
So we hope you learned a lot this episode. If you did not, I advise you to look at this video again. If you did, I advise you to look at the next video.
See y'all later.
Alligator.